First, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And before we start, you got to tell me, something happened to you earlier today that had to do with you trying to get coffee, and it turned out that coffee ended up being really expensive.
I didn't park very well in front of the coffee shop, and I thought that parking half on a curb would just automatically assume that I'd be back really quickly, but I guess the parking enforcer didn't believe that, and I got a $150 ticket. But so I had about a $153 coffee today.
It's expensive. It sounds like you're going to have to sell a whole lot of EPs for that, which I think you're going to be able to do without a problem. Congratulations on the new music. How does it feel getting that new music out there?
Really exciting. It's my first real full release, so it's very exciting.
Well, you know what? Before we start talking about the EP, I want to talk about your career and everything, where the love of music all started from, because people have you sort of pegged into so many different things, either jazz or country or folk or whatever. What do you call it?
The EP, I would say, is a combination of folk and soul music. My original love for music developed when I was going to church as a kid, and it had a bigger meaning to me. And so that just kind of spurred this continual love for music and this kind of bigger connection, bigger than myself connection that I was inspired through my church experience. So, yeah.
Originally from Toronto?
Brampton, Ontario.
Brampton. What was it like growing up in Brampton? I mean, what were you doing family-wise and music-wise too? Like, what kind of songs were you listening to?
Growing up in Brampton was awesome, super multicultural and really diverse, and growing up around that was really important for me and my family. Musically speaking, I really started looking into music. Well, I guess I was a part of the church community, and that, again, was a big catalyst for my career. But then I went to Mayfield Secondary School, which is located in Calleton, just south of Brampton, and I majored as a vocal student there, and that was really the gears were turning mentally for, I think I want to do this later, which brought me to Toronto because I came here for my studying at Humber College.
You and I, both Humber College, radio broadcasting, 1985, way before you were born. So what was the Humber experience like? Because I know they do a great job now.
Amazing. I mean, colleges should never, ever be undercredited for what they do, because to me, that experience was person to person, right, in looking into the eyes of someone that worked in the industry for their whole life. And so the teachers and the faculty and the facilities were extremely designed to support me later in my career, which I feel like isn't the case in lots of universities with huge classes, and you're kind of just this speck in the ocean. At Humber, I knew everyone. So it was really special to me. It was a huge community.
Now, I'm just curious, which campus was it?
Lakeshore.
I was up at North.
Uh-oh.
Did you? No, that's okay. Just curious, though. Did you ever pay for a locker?
I did.
I never did. They're expensive, even though I love Humber, but they're expensive. So here you are, you're deciding you got this career going. What was it like telling the family that this is what you wanted to do?
It was scary at first because my father is from Guyana, and he came here when he was 20, and I think with an immigrant mentality, he wanted the best for his family. And in a lot of ways, the best is academic pursuits, whether it's being a doctor or a lawyer or jobs that are guaranteed to make a lot of money. And this job is not. And so when I decided to do this, my parents were surprised, but they weren't, because I've been singing my whole life and it seemed really natural for me. So they were extremely supportive and still are, and they come to a lot of my shows, and I'm very thankful for that.
So what kind of instruments did you learn to play? I saw one of the videos, you got guitar going on. What other instruments?
I know a little bit of functional piano, but what you did see was actually a ukulele. It's a baritone ukulele, and it's a bit bigger than the concert size. So that's my main instrument right now, and it's been really fun. I've been playing ukulele for about 5 years, and the baritone for about 3, and I do my writing on it at this point. So that's kind of all that I play right now.
Why did you choose that? I'm just curious.
Ukulele was supposed to be a transitional instrument for me into playing guitar. So I originally bought a small concert-sized ukulele and was like, this is fully its own instrument. It's not just this strummy strum, cutesy, kitschy thing that gets portrayed in the media. It's not a trend. It's an instrument. And there are people who have kind of mentored me. Someone, his name's James Hill. He's a PEI musician who's been working with ukuleles and teaching it in an educational atmosphere. So realizing how amazing that instrument is, it's very full. You can play jazz chords on it. I wanted to move it up to a baritone, it supported my voice in a different way. And tuning wise, it's the top 4 strings on a guitar. So I was like, oh, okay, this will get me closer to guitar. Fell in love with the baritone ukulele, and I'm just still here playing it.
The stories. What do you like to? What are the stories you like to tell through your music?
I like to talk, specifically about this EP, I like to talk about heartache and pain and the therapeutic kind of process through dealing with that. Because that was a big process for me in my experiences with breakups and heartache and loss and different relationships failing, whether it be familiar or a friendship. And so I think what I try to support in this EP is the process of working through something and coming out in the end knowing something you didn't know and being stronger for it.
So when you decided to put this together, who did you want to work with to make sure that you got the right touch for this?
I always had my eyes set on working with Robbie Grunwald. We met playing in wedding bands together, and he wanted to work together, and I didn't quite have the songs together at the time. So I ended up with these collections of songs. He wanted to work on using his tape machine, and it seemed like a good fit with the right timing. So he was my producer, my engineer. He mastered the album, he mixed the album, and he played on it. And he introduced me to Josh Van Tassel on drums, Joel Schwartz on guitar, and then I brought some of my girlfriends in to sing some backup. So it was the best team. It was awesome.
What's the lead single?
The lead single is called Low Light.
And give me the story behind that, please.
Low Light is built off of the memory of being close to someone that you care about. And in that context, when I was writing it, it was about very much a memory because it wasn't present in my life because it had recently left. And so it's just a memory of, kind of coming home and seeing someone that you love. And it's a bit of a sensual tune too. I think it's a reflection of me kind of coming into my own in that way as a woman. And that's important to me. And it just kind of happened. I hadn't written a tune like that before, and Robbie helped me put a lot of the soul back into it. Because originally it was kind of folky, and he slowed it down and made it more straight and brought the band in to really support that soulful, warm feeling that you have when you're with someone that you love.
Where is this now EP going to take you? Are we going to get maybe a mini tour or something like that? Are you going to hook up with any other people? What's happening with that?
I'm hoping to tour all over with this EP. I think it's really important to me, and it is a bit of a calling card in terms of my first official release. So I'd love to tour, and I'm booking for 2018 right now. Also working within Toronto throughout the month of November with a house concert community called Artery, and they bring art in really interesting and innovative places. And so I'm going to be doing some house concerts, maybe playing in some different galleries, and it's just, making art more accessible to people.
Website, Twitter, social media, where do we go to follow you?
You can follow my website. You can check it out, lydiapersaud.com. You can follow me on Instagram, _Lidster, and then Facebook has everything, Lydia Persaud Music.
Thank you so much for the interview, and looking forward to 2018. I know you're going to kill it.
Thank you for having me.